Greetings, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Creatrix, and today I am going to talk about a very beautiful topic that needs to be talked about because there is some confusion in the semantics or the language or the concepts that we as people who are aware of our spiritual nature use on a daily basis, right? So, what I'm getting is that there needs to be some clarity on what is the true God, okay? And as you all know, I do not use the term God because in reference to the as a term of respect, okay? Because that term is not respectful to me. What I've been told by my guides is that the term God, right, in the English language is very tricky. Okay, a lot of spell work weaved into the English language. The word God is the same as dog, right, as dog. God and dog is the same three letters. One is backward, one is forward, right? But it's not to say that dogs aren't beautiful, wonderful, well-respected creatures, but the way that the inception of the word God is meant to disrespect the entity that we're trying to revere, but by calling it God, we are actually disrespecting ourselves because we ourselves are God. And not only we are God, but the entirety of this existence is God. And that's what I'm here to explain. Okay, so the concept of God is like, what is the omnipotent, omnipresent, omnipowerful being that basically this galaxy is submissive towards, right? And that entity is actually the entire universe. So the way that we think about God, right? Actually, that entity is the universe. And when I say the universe, I don't mean some weird convoluted thing that is just mysterious and blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about the universe, like you, me, and everything else that's in existence in the universe. All of the material, the atoms, the plant life, the animal life, the human life, the extraterrestrial life, the humanoids, the animals, I already said animals, but the computer, the computer chips, water, the elements, right? The nature, right? All of these things in culmination simultaneously is the true, what we would consider God, right? And I personally, when I refer to the universe, I just say the universe, and that concept in my mind is already God. So there's not one entity, one single entity, or one being that is God. It's actually all of us, right? Together. The oneness, the connectedness that we create together is the universe. And the universe doesn't need you to worship it. It doesn't need you to revere it. It doesn't need you to fear it. It doesn't need you to abide by its laws, because by definition, we cannot break the laws of the universe. The universe is in full control, okay? It has full control. There's no way that you can step outside of the universe. There's no way that you can trick the universe. There's no way that you can, there's no such thing as sin, right? Because anything that you can do and you can think of in the universe, you're allowed to do. And all of the things that you cannot do, you literally cannot do. Like our bodies, it's outside of our avatar, our being, our souls, like all of the things that, like, you can't cheat the universe, right? So everything that we're allowed to do is everything that we can do. Now, does that mean there aren't consequences to our actions? That doesn't mean that. There most definitely is consequences to our actions, and that's for us as individual beings to calculate, and I just heard reciprocate, all right? And it's giving the law of attraction, right? What you put out is what you will get back, all right? The universe is always going to mirror you, and that's one of the laws that we cannot get around, right? So we cannot break these laws, but we can manipulate them to our advantage, right? So our inner world is going to always reflect our outer world, and the way that you control your outer world is by controlling your inner world, right? So if you want to get out of a shitty situation, then you have to tap into your inner world and make sure that your inner world is not in a shitty situation, if that makes sense, right? So you would maneuver, transmute your emotions and your inner feelings to a better state, a better frequency, and automatically the material world, the physical world, will rearrange itself to match your frequency. And maintaining that high frequency is the part that we find difficult or challenging, right? So regardless of what's happening in the outside realm, a master manifester and an ascendant master will always be able to maintain high vibrationality in order to manifest high vibration physical outcomes, right? So with that being said, now that we know that the universe is the omnipresent, omnipowerful, omnipotent energy, and that energy is a culmination of all of us, all beings, okay? All so-called living and non-living things. There's no such thing as a non-living thing. Everything is living, right? But everything in existence is within the universe, and as a whole, that thing, the universe, whatever you want to call it, right, is the most powerful, most potent, omnipresent thing, okay? So when it comes to the concept of God, the universe is actually God, because no being in the universe, no matter how powerful an individual entity, spirit, soul, being is, it can never surpass, or it can never go against, it can never cheat, it can never outsmart the universe, right? Because we're all literally a part of it, all of us together, right? In a very connected, sacred, respected network, okay? So that is technically God, and it's not one single person. So the character in the Bible, in the Old Testament, right, is most definitely not the universe. That is a very specific character that has traits of jealousy, that has temper tantrums. This entity definitely has a lot of growing to do and likes to colonize different nations and amalgamate and intermingle, which is fine. You know, maybe that's what the universe needed, and it did that through this entity, right? But trust and believe that this entity is a part of the universe. It's not the universe. It's not the God, right? And then the character in the New Testament, right? The character that Yeshua or Jesus is referring to, that is the Most High. Okay, that character, right? And Yeshua or Jesus is an avatar for the Most High. That's why Jesus or Yeshua was trying to tell the people, I am the Son of God and I am God, right? Because literally he was God. He was God when he existed, but he was the avatar for God. So the Most High was connected to the VR headset that is this Earth realm, playing the Earth game through Jesus Christ. Okay, and just like everybody else who is birthed into this game, right, who is connected to an avatar, Jesus had to learn himself. Yeshua had to learn himself, had to go through the human experience, right? Even though the Most High was the oversoul, or the higher frequency, right, that Jesus was and existed in, there was still, Jesus still had to experience the sea of forgetfulness, right, where he doesn't remember who he is, right? Just like all of us are birthed, and through the womb we forget who we are, right? In the spiritual realm we fall for the illusion, and we have to remember ourselves once again. Jesus or Yeshua had to go through that process, okay? The Most High goes through that same process that all of our souls go through when entering the spirit realm. It's just that the Most High is a badass, right? The Most High is actually the creator of this game, and the Most High has an intricate, very deep, complex understanding with the universe. It's like Most High is a counterpart to the universe. And what I mean by that is that the Most High has a very intimate, what we can describe as a romantic relationship with the universe, but it's much more complicated than that. But for me to be able to articulate it, let me just say the Most High has a romantic relationship with the universe where it's constantly making love with the universe and creating, right? The Most High in the universe are constantly creating and creating and creating and creating and further expanding the universe. But definitely the universe goes through contraction phases as well, just like we do, right? When we feel shitty, when we feel like all of these emotions and traumas and triggers are coming up, that's exactly what happens to the universe. And it happens on a grand scale, right? And it's happening in so many different levels. Like, it can happen to us as an individual, it can happen to groups of people, countries, people who are genetically tied together. It can happen globally. It could happen on a galaxy scale. It could happen, all of the humanoids, you know what I'm saying, in the existence of the universe can go through an upgrade, right? And whenever there's a contraction phase, there's always an expansion phase. All right, the contraction phase is needed in order to make room for the expansion. To release, we release what is unneeded, unwanted through the expression of it. It has to be expressed, right? And we release whatever was holding us back, and then now there's room for the new. So then we are able to expand and make room for the new. And that process is continuous and constant and happens on so many different levels. So the Most High does not need to be the Most High doesn't even need to be revered or worshipped or anything. The Most High wants y'all to know that the Most High is just like everyone else, right? That's why the Most High always comes back to the earth realm to remind us that, yes, I'm taking a very, I just heard coarse path, a very coarse path, a hard path, a difficult path, but it's not a path that anyone else can take and anyone else can't take, right? Everyone has their unique path, but what the Most High is saying, that it is possible to achieve all of our wildest dreams that we can come up with as children, as adults, right? Anything that we desire or put our hearts to, we can achieve. And the Most High comes back all the time to teach us this, to show us how to win the game, right? Because this Earthrealm game is very much so sought after. There's a lot of souls waiting to reincarnate into the Earthrealm game, because the souls that come here to learn, they become exponentially gifted. They become exponentially powerful after having even just one round of this game, right? And the universe is constantly expanding. The souls here, we as part of the universe, we are constantly expanding. So this game is unique in that there is no limit. There is no end to this game. There's no point where it's like, you won it once and for all and you're the winner forever. No, there's always opportunities for more growth. It's literally unlimited because of how mutable this game is. It's mutable, it's moldable, right? It's forever changing and growing. Everything is changing. So that's why we never come to the same earth realm twice. We never come to the same timeline twice. It's always forever growing. The challenges are always going to get harder and the rewards are always going to get better. Okay, so yeah, this Earthrealm game is very much so sought after, and the Most High is just the one creator of the game, but also a player in the game that comes here to show us how magical we can make it for ourselves, right? So the things that Yeshua was doing, right, in the New Testament are definitely things that we all can achieve as well. Okay, metaphorically, some of the stuff is literal as well. Not everything is a metaphor, okay, and not everything is literal. All right, and it's up to us to be able to decipher, right, the New Testament, to be able to tap into our inner knowing, our inner selves, to be able to say, hey, that frequency is the frequency of truth. What I'm reading is the frequency of truth. Or, okay, this is the metaphor aspect of it, right? Because it's like it goes in and out, in and out, and I don't know how to explain this feeling. It's like in and out, in and out. Like there's a larger metaphorical translation, there are smaller literal translations, right? Like, for example, Jesus, this character of Jesus or Yeshua, is actually an amalgamation of many different ascended masters, right? Because this story is told over and over. And this story is cyclical, it happens all the time. The Most High is very unique in the way that it shows up on this realm, right? However, there is like a blueprint to which the Most High kind of directs its character, right? As if the Most High was like literally a director of a play, right? The Most High uses a certain blueprint, and it's like it's giving us a hint. That's why, like, you'd be able to recognize the Most High when it comes in its avatar to the earth realm through the blueprint that we've seen it go through in the past. There's many ascended masters that have been avatars of the Most High. There's Krishna, there's Yeshua, there's oh my god, I'm sorry, what is her name? Yin Quang? Oh, Kuan Yin. There we go. And so much more. There's so many more avatars. There's Heru, right? All these different characters. And the blueprint, we will know when the Most High comes back through the blueprint that we see, okay? There's always a hero's journey. The Most High is always very attacked, all right? The Most High is being constantly attacked, and like people try to manipulate it. And I'm just saying it because the Most High is an androgynous being, okay? It's not a he or a she. The Most High is an it. It's not even that the Most High has features of masculinity and femininity. What I'm getting is that the Most High is like so blended. The masculine and the feminine is so intertwined. You can't even consider it masculine or feminine anymore. Even the energies that it's made out of is not even masculine and feminine anymore. It's so integrated. All right, so it's an androgynous being. So when the Most High comes to this realm, we will be able to recognize it through its path, through its road, okay? It's very much so constantly attacked. The Most High always takes a different and unique path that is kind of seen as rebellious, right? The Most High, it will always be a transmuter, a master transmuter, right? In which people will always dump their energy on the Most High, all right? We will begin to see there are signs that the Most High is present that we will be able to see all around us, like in the world, right? Like people in power start to go down. People who are, abusing other people, mistreating, misleading other people will start to fall. We will see public falls, things will begin to get harder, because what the Most High does when it comes down here is it clears the path, right, for like a fresh restart, like a new leg of the game, like because the game is cyclical, right? So once things get to a certain point, the Most High will come back and refresh the energy. And by refresh the energy, I mean the Most High is going to force people to start winning the game. Okay, that's what the Most High does. And the Most High does that by plugging into every single soul's being in this game. All right. And the way that it plugs into these souls is through a ritual. It's through a ritual that comes by the hands of its attackers. So the way that the Most High targets and finds the people who need the most help in this realm is that the Most High comes to this realm looking all vulnerable and run down and like just sweet. Like the Most High emits a very loving, nurturing, vulnerable type of energy. It's kind of like a trap. It's kind of like a trap. This is hilarious. It's kind of like a trap. So the most and no judgment to anybody, but the most greedy, the most selfish, the most resistant type of energies and people will naturally attack the Most High, because not only is the Most High giving the energy of being vulnerable and helpless, but also very rich in energy. All right, the energy of the Most High is obviously wealthy, rich. It has a star quality to it. It has a favor to it, like a glamour to it, right? And people want this for themselves, so they use rituals, willingly to attach themselves to the Most High. And what the Most High does is, when it's the right time, it flips the script on these people. And through the process of being attacked and like spiritually attacked, having rituals on it being done, people gunning after it and all that, that starts the healing journey for the Most High. So the Most High is an entity that thrives in the most chaotic situations, right? Even though it looks all sweet and kind and nice and helpless, the Most High actually thrives in the worst conditions. And it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy that these people carry out on themselves, right? Because a lot of these people, a lot of the Most High's attackers, especially the higher ups, they know that who the Most High is. So they do their best to keep the Most High in a cage, keep the Most High down, keep the Most High, bound and tied, right? Whatever way that is. And they unknowingly actually jumpstart the power that the Most High is holding in within itself, right? It's kind of like a trigger for the Most High, right? The Most High was dormant during the attacks, but then as the Most High is being attacked, it triggers a response of becoming or evolving into its power, right? So it's kind of hilarious if you look at it that way, and the reason why the Most High is so attacked is because these people who are in power, who are the elites, they don't want the game to end. They don't want a new, fresh, clean slate to give everyone else a chance, right? They don't want that. They don't want everyone to start winning already, because they benefit from the oppression and suppression of the rest of the community, as we can see, right? They want to feel special. They want to feel like they're the wealthiest. They want to feel that they're the most powerful off of the backs of other people. But the Most High and the most, spiritually in tune people know that there's enough love, enough abundance, enough prosperity, enough energy to go around for everybody, right? But the people who are in power, they only see one way that they can be in power. They are not able to, their creativity is not there. They're not able to see a path or a situation or a timeline in which everyone is thriving, everyone is doing good. They feel like their prosperity has to come at the expense of the majority of the population's prosperity, if that makes any sense. Yes, so we have the universe, which is actually the highest, right? The highest ranking thing, which is the culmination of all of us connected, our consciousness, our connected entire being. We are nothing, no one is anything without the universe. And then we have the Most High, which is a master creator, and the universe and the Most High are constantly entangled in a beautiful, sexy, spicy dance of creation energy, which is love energy, which is life force energy, right? We are all a product of this energy, right? And because we are a product of this energy, we all are GODs, right? We are GODs. We have the capability of being our own unique version of the Most High. And that's what the Most High wants us to know, is that we can do it. We can all do it. We can all be like Yeshua. We can all tap into that God part of ourselves, right? We just have to believe like a child. We have to be like children. Right? So yes, that is what it is, right? So yeah, if there's any confusion about, universe and God and Old Testament, New Testament, this is the way that we can think of it. And there's never everything's on equal footing, okay? Even though that there is a hierarchy, that doesn't mean that we cannot rise through the ranks. And that's the point of this Earthrealm game, is rising through the ranks. Keep going, keep pushing through the levels. Don't get stuck on one level, okay? And our vehicle for transportation through the levels is going to be our healing journey, right? Our evolution journey, All right. It's never going to stop. We're never going to stop healing. However, what we can do is we can begin to enjoy it. We begin to love it. We begin to work around it. We begin to embrace it. Right? That's where the change comes in. That's where our inner world can affect our outer world. And once you become a master at reconfiguring your inner world, then you are literally reconfiguring your outer world. All right. That is a message that I have for y'all today. I love you all so very much. I will see you in the next video. If you feel inclined to, please follow me on my other social media platforms, okay, especially TikTok, because I do post the most there.